Welcome along to episode 781 of the Milk by Jason Forrest, and
Zoe Turner.
here with you. I would say, as ever, as occasionally in Zoe's case, as ever for me. And we've dragged Zoe along because last week saw the 780th episode of the show, which means it was 15 years since you and I started the whole thing.
Wow. I can't believe it's that long. I
I
feel really
know.
old now.
Well, if you haven't changed any, you've still got no dress sense.
And jumpers.
You like your jumpers. I mean, jumpers
I
are
do
more
like
of a
my jumpers.
Yeah, they're much more of a thing now than they possibly were back in we're on 2009 when we started doing this. That's the year I was looking for.
Wow.
But
Gosh.
shall I tell you what's coming up on the show this week?
Yes, please,
Well, yeah,
Jason.
because we dragged you along just for purely for anniversary purposes and to say Zoe Turner will be letting us know about her latest charity work, won't you?
I will do, yeah.
Yep. We'll be hearing from the teams of Briggs Equipment as they're taking part in the Birmingham Children's Hospital Dragon Boat Race. That sounds exciting, doesn't it?
It does. Very good.
Laura Liptrot's along to let us know about the fun events that she has going on. She's part of the Brumfest, so that'll be good. This one will be close to your heart. Portia Freeman joins us to talk about last Saturday's World Gin Day.
Oh, I do like a bit. I like a bit of gin, Jason.
Yeah, only a bit though, not too much, please. We'll be having an answer with Alison Norton of South Musical Theatre about their forthcoming show over at the Console Village Hall as well. That's on the way. And Sharon Davis, the swimmer, you remember her?
I do.
Yeah,
Yep.
well,
Not
she's long
personally,
talking.
but I do.
Sorry.
Not personally, but I
No,
do.
no. But I had a chat with her earlier. So we're hearing from her as we have a bit of a catch up about knee problems. She's had all sorts of knee problems, and we've got an orthopedic surgeon joining us as well to tell us more about that. That sounds like a thing to do, doesn't it? That sounds like a full show.
It does indeed.
I think that'll do the job.
Fitting to our age as well. Knee
Knee
problems.
problems. This is how we've been going 15 years now. We can barely get up the
Yeah.
stairs, but there we are. That's all on the way on the show this week.
Welcome to the Milk Bar. 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 Welcome to the Milk Bar.
Right. Okay. Now we'll do a bit of a chat, and I'll put you on first. Right. You ready?
Let me get my
No,
notes.
you need the notes. Yeah.
Just in case. With dates and stuff, because I'm rubbish.
Yeah. This will go on the radio as well, so we'll do this straight.
Where is it? Oh, yeah, that's the date. I only wanted the date. Really.
Right, and when we do this, I'm going to leave us both in screen all the time, so save me doing so much editing because it's like you co-hosting it then. Okay,
Okay.
right. Here we go then. In three, two, one. Now, Zoe, you have a number of charity events that you're working on at the moment. So, what's been going on? Because you do like to keep busy.
I do. So, hot off my London Marathon for Diabetes UK.
Yeah.
I've gone straight into raising funds for Crisis.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be doing a trek in September. So I'll go out on the 20th and come back on the 25th in Morocco. And I'll be climbing their highest mountain, Mount Tubercle. Maybe that's it.
I have no idea. Just the highest mountain in
No,
Morocco. That'll
the
cover us
highest
off.
mountain in Morocco, so we'll just stick at that. But yeah, I'm doing that in September for Crisis. So as ever, I've got like my fundraising targets just seem to be going higher and higher. So I've got to raise 4,000 for this one.
Oh yeah, but you
Which is
can put some of that
tiny.
yourself because you are getting a holiday out of it. You'll be putting your share in, won't you?
No, none of that goes towards the holiday. It's not holidays or anything.
Caught you.
Towards any of the costs of going or anything. That's all funded separately. So that £4,000 will purely be going to Crisis. So
Okay, I'm only playing you up, but
I know.
yeah,
I have been asked that before, to be fair.
yeah. Well, people assume that, don't they? Think, well, I'm sponsoring them, so they can do this for nothing. Not the
Yeah,
case, is it? That isn't how it
no,
works.
no. So yeah, the weather should be okay. That sort of time of year, so it's not going to be too hot.
Mhm.
But apparently the temperatures do plummet at night time and when the higher up you go. So even though we'll be starting off with like shorts and everything else, by the time we get to the top, we'll be having caps and gloves and woolly coat.
So the backpack will get lighter, but you'll be wearing more
So,
stuff.
yeah, that's the thing. And then as well as that, it's the altitude, because obviously you can get altitude sickness. And because there isn't any mountains high enough in the UK, I can't actually physically train for
You
that.
can't,
So I
you can't even
worked
test it on
out,
Ben Nevis.
no, it's not high enough. So I'm not going to know whether I'm going to have altitude sickness until I'm actually there on the mountain, and that's not a good place to be. You
No,
don't
because
feel that.
you can't try a plane trip out and leave the window open because it don't work like that, does
No,
it?
no. But apparently we're going to be having a medical team go with us, so that's reassuring.
Hopefully they don't have any
The
problems.
fact
It'll
that
be
they
fine.
needed in the first
It'll
place.
be so well organised. It'll be absolutely brilliant. So that's
Yeah.
going to be good fun.
Oh gosh, yeah. But it's just fundraising. It's hard.
Well,
But I've got loads coming up. So
yeah. Well, obviously everyone has their priorities on what they're spending, but I know you like to provide value, don't you? You like to organise events so people have got something.
yeah,
They're going to spend money
yeah,
on anyway, that sort of thing, and they get to enjoy it. So,
yeah.
what's in the pipeline?
I've got a end of summer fair on the 14th September.
Mhm.
I've got a Christmas fair in December, so I have got up till December, the end of December, to finish raising the funds so after the event.
Yeah.
Let me think. I've
Any-
got a
Something
fair that
good
I'm
and sooner would help. I mean,
yeah, I've got a fair on the 4th of August at Horton Hall in Shifnal. So they're doing like a family fun day, and I've got a stall there with raffles and things on.
so you're going for it on the
Um,
fair front. You're liking your fairs.
yeah, I've got a fashion show on the 8th of September at the
Mhm.
Village Hall. I've
In
got a
Shifnal.
company coming in Shifnal, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a company coming to do that for me. So they're bringing all the clothes to sell. They're doing like the comparing and everything else. And I sell tickets for people to get in. And
Sounds like a
that's
reasonable
how I
deal.
fundraise. I've got an afternoon tea at the Park House again in Shifnal. Like it's like an afternoon tea where you get like your sandwiches and everything else and
Mhm.
things.
You're
And
not
I'm
doing the
going to be
sandwiches though, are
providing
you?
entertainment. No, no, cooking's not my thing, Jason.
This was why I was worried.
Yeah.
Although
So
I have to admit, you don't cook sandwiches; you assemble them. But
I know. But yeah, they'd be a bit dry, I think, if I did them. But yeah, I'm getting some entertainment for that. What else have I got? Gosh, I've got loads of fingers in loads of pies, and there might be something musical as well. I'm hoping, fingers crossed,
okay,
where people can buy a song, and part of that will go towards Crisis. So I'm working on that as well.
lots
Um,
happening. And as I said, all this to raise funds for an exceptionally good cause. And although I'm playing
yeah,
you up, you are having, it is an absolutely brilliant way of doing it. And
yeah.
I mean, you have been putting yourself to the test. I mean, the marathon itself. I mean, how did that go? What was your time like on that? Was it a good one?
It wasn't as fast as I wanted, and I think,
Hmm.
and I'll tell you for why. I was sort of at the top end of the people that keep walk running and the bottom end of the runners.
Right.
With my timing. So I think next time I need to go in the faster group. So then I'd be running with people that are running all the while. Because although I ran all the 26 miles, I had to keep dodging around people that were stopping and walking, and that sort of
And you've only got
made
little
me a bit
legs, so
longer. Yeah.
you're not a tall one, so that would have
No,
slowed
but
you down
I
a
did
little
it
bit.
in 5.5 hours, so I was hoping for around 5:15. And I think because on my Fitbit watch, because I actually did over 27 miles. So I went over and above, but it was because I was having to keep dodging
Running
people
round
that did.
people.
Yeah. But
Only
yeah, so
you
just
could
an
do
extra
that.
mile.
Yeah.
I was really disheartened about mile 22 because, of course, on my watch, I thought, oh, this is great. I'm on mile 23. I've only got 3 miles left. And obviously, I know what my average pace is, and I knew how many minutes that meant. And then I come up to a sign and it says mile 22. And I thought, you what? I've got an extra mile to do. And when you've been running for like 4 hours 45 minutes, and you think you've got an extra mile to do, which is like 11 minutes for me.
Yeah.
Thinking, oh my goodness me, I can't do it. So that was the only discouraging part. But after I got over the fact that I had an extra mile to run,
But you did it.
then I did it. Yeah, actually, the last 6 miles I was worried about because I'd only ever run 20 miles before. But actually, I found the last 6 miles easier than the middle part of the marathon because it was really hot.
Mhm.
And running in hot weather's not great, but yeah, it was better than I thought, to be fair. Yeah, and
But
I wasn't really bothered about the time. I just wanted to finish.
well, that's the important
Without
thing,
falling
isn't it?
over. Yeah,
Well, particularly you'd never done it before, so that's good going. And you did the
yeah.
extra going round, so people
I
dressed
got
as
the extra
chickens.
mile in as
Yeah.
well, so 27 miles I did.
But it's a slightly slower pace you'll be taking the mountain that you can't remember the name of in Morocco.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You are supposed to take it really slow because if you go up quite slower than what you might normally climb, it tends to help with the altitude sickness
Hmm.
because your body gets used to the lack of oxygen and all the rest of it
Yeah. But
quicker. So,
if anyone can cope with that, it's you. You don't.
well, I have
But
been training in hotter weather as well. I've been going
mhm.
out when the sun's out because apparently if you're a runner, then you're automatically better at it because you run with less oxygen, if you see what I mean.
Yeah,
So
because you're not
I've been
breathing
trying
right.
to run in the sun and prepare for it. If I don't collapse running in the sun, then I'll be fine walking up a
But
mountain.
you obviously need another holiday for a week in Spain to run in the sun, somewhere around there, or Tenerife. That'd be nice. You can run around in the wind and the sun and whatever else it throws at you.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm looking forward to it, but it's just getting over the fundraising hurdle. And then, of course, people don't have to come to one of my events. They can just donate through my
Yeah,
Just Giving page.
but you do like to give them value there. The thing is, if you're giving them something which gets them something that then that helps your fund,
Yeah,
then
no, I know.
everyone that's the nice
I
way of
do
doing it.
like it. To be
Yeah.
fair, for me as well as the fundraising, I enjoy watching people enjoying themselves, and all
Hmm.
these events that I do are sort of things that I like doing. So as well as watching everybody and having a good night, I'm having a good night myself. I'm raising for it as
Yeah. So
well. So
so you get a free ticket to go along and see something and watch other people enjoying it too.
yeah, yeah.
It was just for organising the work you put in more than
Oh, I've
pays for it.
remembered one of my other events as well.
Oh, what else you got? Okay, your mind's come back.
Yeah,
Good.
curry night in Shifnal.
Yeah.
There'll be entertainment, and I get a certain percentage of the meal that you have while you're in there.
To go to the funds. You
Yeah.
don't go around with a spoon and nick a third of somebody's rice, do
No,
you? No.
no,
What you mean is there's
no. I
fundraising
get
going on.
five. I think it's something like £5 we've agreed on, but I need to get a date for that.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, that's definitely going ahead as well. So curry
Okay.
night, and I was thinking comedy and a curry.
That'd be good. We know a few
Yeah,
comedians who could probably help out with that.
we
So
do. Yeah,
you
I have poor old Rob Lane. He's going to be expecting my call. I keep
yeah,
pulling on him every time I
you'll be
raise funds.
stalking Rob again. Yeah.
I will be.
Because
I've sort of primed him though. Primed
well,
him ready.
you might treat him to a curry.
Yeah.
Rob, I'd love you to come and have a curry. By the way, you've got to do 10 minutes of stand-up as well.
Yeah.
That's
He'd
well,
go for that though, wouldn't he?
I,
Rob?
yeah, I would get him on the call now, but I'm not entirely sure what he's doing. So I'll give him a try. But Zoe, give us all the details because I say lots of events, lots of different dates, times. Because when's the curry thing taking place?
I haven't got a date for that yet. It'll be a Sunday night. And I want to give enough time to book the table, so it won't be for another 6 or 7 weeks, really.
Mhm. But so we
Um,
need to follow you on the socials then to find out all of this. So where do we have to
yeah.
begin with? And
Instagram.
just
Yeah.
before you do that, just as a warning, we will also be asking you for the GoFundMe page or whatever it is, or you'll just giving page. So have that in your head as well, because this is the bit that normally takes the time.
I never know what it is though. I always see. I've tried searching giving. If you put Zoe Turner Crisis in, it brings it up on the first one.
Okay, do that then. Right. Okay. So
Yeah.
So, but back to the plot. What's your socials?
Instagram's going to be the best one because I'm
Yeah.
putting on there all of my events and also like doing like a little mini training thing. So if I do training or I've got bits of kit or whatever, it'll all be on there for you to follow.
Okay.
And also highlighting Crisis and the work that they do. So I'll be highlighting some of their videos and their campaigns and everything as well. And Instagram, my name is Zoe J Turner on there.
Okay.
I'm looking lovely because it's my Christmas party outfit, just
Okay.
for a clue for you.
Okay, so we're looking for you looking festive, not in a Christmas
Yeah.
jumper though, but
No,
just
no, on
let the
Instagram. So it's Zoe J Turner, and as I say, everything will be on there dates wise, and then obviously you'll be bullied into having me back on for different events as well.
but there's
Probably.
no bullying involved. You can actually sort of co-host my podcast with me and stuff, so that's okay if you
Yeah.
could be bothered.
Yeah.
So we'll do that.
I'm just waiting
So
for the invite, Jason. That's all it is. I'm
Was it-
always available for your podcast.
okay, we'll sort that out. All right, Zoe J Turner on Instagram. Zoe
Yeah.
Turner Crisis for the just giving, isn't it? Just giving.
Yeah, just giving. If you search in there and you put Zoe Turner Crisis, I'm the first one that pops up. It's a picture of the mountain that I'm going to go up, and you'll be able to find out the name of what it is as well because that's on there.
And when you read it, you don't have to worry about Zoe's pronunciation either, which will work really well.
Yeah.
Well, always good to catch up with you. Thank you for joining me, Zoe Turner, star of stage, screen, and a mountain near Morocco. Ta-ra for now.
Bye bye.
It would seem that our knees are taking the strain, and this can be something we can find help with. To tell us more, I'm joined now by Sharon Davies, MBE, Olympic silver medalist, and also by Mr. Andrew Miller, BSc, MBCH, MSc, MD, FRC. He's basically a consultant surgeon who's absolutely brilliant. Hello to you both.
Good morning to you.
How are we all doing? And Sharon, most importantly, how are your knees? There's no problems there, are there?
Oh, well, I've had knee injuries for a really long time. So I put my foot in a pothole when I was 11, but because I was a swimmer, I kind of got away with it. And then in 95, when I was doing Gladiators, which we're all loving is back, I snapped what was left of my ACL, my cruciate ligament in my knee. So I had reconstruction surgery, and then I've had 9 operations since then. So yeah, not much left of it really, my right knee. There's very, very bad grade 4 arthritis. And then I've done all sorts of things, tried all sorts of things. And then 18 months ago, I had this revolutionary new injection, omeprazole, and it's made a huge difference to me. I mean, I will still eventually have to have a replacement, but it's putting it off, which is what I was wanted.
Well, yeah, and they say once you start having to have these things done, I mean, it's quite an invasive piece of surgery. I know from my late father's operation, though, it can be absolutely life-changing being able to get on the move again. And when he was looking at that 20 odd years ago, obviously there weren't the sort of injections that we're looking at here that can help so much. And Andrew, when you look at the sort of quality and the way in which the care has changed in this area, it's been huge over the last few decades.
Yeah, it's revolutionary, really, and particularly with this new treatment. The traditional treatment for arthritis is, if it's not that bad, wait till it's really bad and do a knee replacement, which is a terrible treatment. That's, it's archaic, really, isn't it? Just suffer until it's really bad. But now we've got this completely new class of drugs, called a hydrogel, made by Arthrosamid, that seems to be a very, very effective injectable. We've still got knee replacements and they are getting better, but the outcomes are about 85% of people that are happy with their knee. So it's a good operation, but it's a big thing to do, and it's only really indicated if you've got severe bone-on-bone arthritis and pain that wakes you up from sleep at night.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. And Sharon, I mean, as an Olympic swimmer, you kind of probably hoped you're doing a low-impact sport, you'd probably got away with it. But if you will go and jump into potholes when you're a kid, and it can be anything that can trigger this sort of thing, can't it? It seems.
I know. Swimmers, our injury is shoulders. We're all rotator cuffs, really, because just doing circles, is not great for them. But yes, no, as I said, the knee was Gladiators. It wasn't swimming. But being active, is part of who I am. And I think it's the most frustrating thing when you get arthritis of the knee is the fact that it stops you from being able to walk. It means that you have this horrible pain at nighttime that wakes you up. And of course, our waiting lists are horrendous. So as Andrew said, they're not as successful as hip replacements. There will be a number of people that they don't work for. And obviously technology is getting better all the time. So my thinking was that the longer I can leave it, the better the technology, the better the result, will be. So that's also part of it for me. So I had the jab about 18 months ago. The knee felt a bit full for about 48 hours. And then I realized 10 days later, I wasn't sitting there every night rubbing my knee or being woken up in the middle of the night. Mm-hmm. And it's still working 18 months later. Most things that have gone in, injectables that have gone in the past, dissipate and they disappear. This actually attaches itself to the synovial joint and creates like a padding. And so it just removes that horrible pain that comes with OA. And, there's loads of us, 5.4 million of us have arthritis of the knee in this country. And it starts usually around about 55. But if you've had a sporting career, which has, brought on injuries, it will be earlier.
Yeah, so it's almost as if you're reupholstering your knee with this stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. And it was tested. It came from the veterinary world. It was used on horses, and horses can't lie, can they? Once it's put in a joint, either they're going to carry on running or they're not. And it worked very successfully for them, which is why now we're using it in humans. So about 3 years, and we've got some people that are still after their first injection saying that they're getting relief. And about 10,000 people across Europe have used it. So I'm hoping they'll just stick it into every joint eventually, and I'll just be full of the stuff.
but Andrew, obviously, this is something which it's getting access to, isn't it? And this is something that's being done privately.
Yeah, it's done privately at the moment. There's a huge amount going in the UK. It's still more in racehorses than humans, unfortunately, but we're working on that. It's definitely available privately. You can go on the Arthrosamid website and they will link you to private clinics. But we're doing a lot of work with the NHS and an area within the NHS called the National Institute of Clinical Excellence. So we've got to provide them with some evidence that this is not only effective, but that it's cost effective. And the provisional evidence we've given them would certainly suggest that actually it will save the NHS potentially a lot of money. That may even reduce the amount of knee replacements we do, and certainly help patients that are waiting to be in less pain, even just while they're waiting for a knee replacement.
Absolutely, and it is that thing. If you can reduce the need for a more expensive, more invasive operation, you're absolutely not only quids in, which it always feels wrong when you talk about healthcare, but it is money. That's the way it works. But equally, you say you're allowing people to get on with their lives. And Sharon, you're now pretty much a case study, aren't you?
I am a little bit, yes, absolutely, and I'm very happy to be honest with you. You know, my particular knee specialist, Paul Lee, came and suggested this to me and said, "Look, it is very new, but I think it will work for you," and it really did. And I'm just recommending it to all my sporty friends, you know, to get on with it and give it a go. As Andrew said, I think it will eventually help a lot of people. So they don't have to have knee replacement. And recovery when you're older for big surgery is really quite tricky. So if we can, you know, stop that and give people pain relief and keep them mobile, and then those people even that will need a knee operation, if we can keep them mobile and healthier, then the result of their surgery will be more successful, because keeping your weight down and keeping yourself active is really helps with recovery as well. And then getting to the gym, you know, it's still important to maintain those joints and maintain the muscle around a joint. I mean, as I say, I'm in the gym 3 or 4 times a week on my bike. I still work hard on trying to keep those muscles strong so that they're supporting those joints that aren't as good as I'd like them to be.
Can we get you back on Gladiators at some point?
Well, only as a cheerleader, I think. I think my body would fall to pieces if I actually did any of those games today.
I'm sure you got pugil sticks at home somewhere just to keep your hand in, but that's pretty much the way it works. So where can we go for more information, Mr. Miller?
The best place to go is arthrosamid.com. arthrosamid.com, and they'll link you to all the recent evidence. There's some patient stories, loads of pictures of Sharon on there, so it's even better, and they'll link you to the closest clinic to where you live.
Or pop onto my website if you can't spell it, and there's a link there too, so you'll find it.
Yep, it's going to be worthwhile finding out about for so many who have awful knee pain, and it's debilitating. And the last thing you need, you're getting older, you're in bed, you're in pain already. Then you got to nip to the loo in the middle of the night. You want your knees working, don't you?
It's annoying when they swell up, isn't it? It's like a toothache, you know. This won't go away, so it's certainly worth a try.
Olympian, gladiator, and all round now example to the world when it comes to keeping your knees working, Sharon Davies, and also Mr. Andrew Miller. I'm not sure which of your title to give you. I'll go with orthopedic surgeon, I think, on this one. That would be the easiest way of doing it. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you very much, Jason. Bye.
Now, one of our local amateur dramatic groups who haven't been doing anywhere near enough stuff recently, a South Staffs Musical Theatre. It's great to see them back up to, I was going to say no good, up to having fun, which is certainly what they're doing. They've got a bit of an evening into the spotlight. It comes along at the Codsall Village Hall on the 14th and 15th. That's a Friday and Saturday in June. Alison Norton is with me now to tell me quite what they're up to. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. It's always a pleasure to see you, Jason.
And likewise with you. And also with the whole of the company from South Staffs, because you're a talented bunch, aren't you?
Well, we are. We try.
What another one of our groups who've got amateur in the title, but not in your nature. And the productions I've seen you been lucky enough to be part of some of your events when we were at the Grand a few years ago. I say a few years before the pandemic, and we haven't seen you do a full production for a good while. But it's not that you're not going to. It's just these things have been difficult over the years with finances for all companies, haven't they?
That's right. I mean, COVID did take quite a toll on our company financially, and it'll be a while before we're back at the Grand. But in the meantime, we'll carry on because we're just a bunch of people who love to come together, sing and dance and have fun.
So into the spotlight, tell me more.
It's a musical theatre concert. We took the inspiration for the title of the concert from our opening number, which is called Out of the Darkness into the Spotlight. And it's from a fairly new musical called Everybody's Talking About Jamie.
And now that is a fun musical in itself, and it's with the songs that you get these days. I mean, each musical that has been successful, like Jamie, like this, like Shrek, and so many of the others. I mean, they've stood up to the ones that have stood the test of time because they've really focused on having that song which stands out, the one that you're still singing when you leave the venue.
That's right. We've got excerpts from modern shows, including Rent, Hamilton, a new show called Edgies, which I hadn't heard of actually until we did this concert, Something Rotten, and of course Jamie. And then we've got more traditional stuff from shows that people love, like Grease, Funny Girl, Sunset Boulevard, Les Miserables, of course. We've got a whole section on that. And then we've got a wonderful, feisty, funny finale from Shrek, I'm a Believer. So there really is something for everybody's taste.
Yeah, it sounds absolutely brilliant. And it's a night where, as I said, there's normally one song from a show you go home singing. You got all the songs from all the shows that you go home singing. So that's going to be one noisy car park down at Codswell Village Hall.
It is, yeah. One noisy village.
So obviously inspired to get back on the stage and inspiring others with the talent that you'll bring there. So tickets for this are vitally important. How do people grab hold of these?
Well, we are doing our tickets online on a platform called Seaty, seaty.co.uk, exactly as it sounds, Seat with a Y on the end, seaty.co.uk. You can go on there and follow the link to Into the Spotlight. It's very simple to book, or you can ring me, and my number is 07886 194 144.
Okay,
and
so
I'll book on your behalf.
Simple as that. 07886 194 144. Having that with Alison, chair of South Staffs Musical Theatre Company. And it's going to be a great night. And there's also going to be snacks and nibbles available and drinks too.
Yes, we've got a very reasonably priced bar. You can have as much to drink as you like during the performance. We don't mind you getting up and getting a drink. And there's nibbles available as well. It is the full theatre experience, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, because Codswell Village Hall is so multi-purpose. I mean, how are you going to lay things out for the night?
It's cabaret style, so 8 people to a table, very comfortable, very relaxed. And I think we've got 10 tables a night, so there's plenty of room to move around and just have fun. It's a very relaxed, comfortable evening.
And I think it's going to sell very quickly. So make sure you get down there. Get your tickets. As you said, it's seaty.co.uk, SSMTC, Into the Spotlight, all as one word. See what you can do with that. Or give Alison a shout, 07886 194 144. And the dates are the 14th and 15th. It's a Friday and a Saturday night. And it's a fairly reasonable sized cast, I'm going to guess, from some of the pictures I've seen.
There's about 20 of us. Yeah, which is quite small for our normal group, but just the right amount of people for this venue.
Well, I have seen you fill the entire stage at the Grand with the
yes.
one night only back in the day. So you've got a great bunch. And will there be some solos on the night as well as group performances?
Oh yes, definitely. Plenty of solos and duets. Yeah, something for everyone.
People can find you on Facebook as well, can't they?
They can find us on Facebook.
So just search for South Staffs Musical Theatre on there. You'll see all that's going on. Find out about the next thing. If you can't make this one, you'll be able to make another one, I'm sure. But you'll need to get in there quick and grab those tickets because, as Alison said, it is cabaret-style seating, which means limited spaces for what's going to be an absolutely brilliant night as they head into the spotlight. Alison, always good to catch up with you. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to the show, and it's going to be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much.
On Friday the 28th and Saturday the 29th of June, there'll be dragons on their canals over in Birmingham, all to raise funds for the Birmingham Children's Hospital, who do such an amazing amount of work across our region and beyond. To tell us more about what's going on, I'm joined now by Katie Harris from Birmingham Children's Hospital and 2 people who are taking part in the event itself. We've got Sam and Fleur from Briggs Equipment UK. Hello to you all.
Hello. Hello.
Right, so who's going to be spokesperson? First of all, tell me a bit about how you guys got involved in all of this.
Sam, over to you.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a personal connection for me, really. So at Briggs, we were really heavy on charity and getting involved in charity events and volunteering, which Fleur will go into a bit more detail. But for me personally, the Children's Hospital's got a real personal thing. So my daughter was born with a condition called transposition of the great arteries. in effect, the vessels that come out of your heart were connected in they were the wrong way round. So there's no oxygenated blood basically flowing through the body. I won't get too technical because there's obviously a lot of medical terms and things, but yeah, in essence, it was a life-saving operation that she required. Where Birmingham is one of the leading hospitals in the world for heart operations and for any heart problems. So she was in really good hands. We knew that. It was obviously a really, really scary time for us. It was my first child and my last, I'll add to that. But they work wonders. Without them, she wouldn't be here. And yeah, I still get emotional now about it. It's just incredible the work that they do. When you see all the other sick kids there, it's heartbreaking. You know, there's tiny babies up to 16, 17-year-olds, and they are in capable hands, but it's just unbelievable the work that they do.
Yeah, well, they look after kids from across the Midlands and across the UK. Even international patients come to them as well, and it does such a massive amount of work, obviously within the NHS. But the fundraising here adds to looking after the families and the kids to get them the best sort of facilities to make not only the medical work that they get done, but also the social and family time part of the recovery process. And it really does help them improve so much more quickly. And yeah, Fleur, when it comes down to an event like this, obviously you guys need wetsuits, I'm going to guess. There's all sorts of things involved that you've done to prep this. So tell us a bit about the actual dragon boat racing itself.
So no, we don't have wetsuits actually. So we have buoyancy aids just in case we topple over. Hopefully that doesn't happen. It didn't happen last year, so fingers crossed it doesn't happen this year. But yeah, we have a bit of a briefing that talks us through some safety things that we have to take into consideration, and then yeah, we take it in turns with different boats from different organisations and businesses who take it in turns to compete and yeah, see who can do the fastest time. And it's a really good day, really fun day. Yeah, lots of water involved, obviously. Very wet by the end of it.
Very competitive.
Very competitive. Yes, we're always competitive in our boat, but we did it last year with the personal touch, whereas we had children's photos on our t-shirts from whose parents had kindly given us permission to use their images, to give it a personal touch for the hospital, just to show that these gorgeous little faces. Sam had her little daughter on there, and I had one of my little boy's friends from the same school that he goes to. Her mum had given permission to have her image on my t-shirt. So that attracted a lot of attention, and a lot of people were really humbled by the fact that we had their little faces on our tops, and it made it even more special for us because we knew
brings it to life, doesn't it?
Yeah, we're doing it for them, and that's the aim that we're doing again this year. We're again hoping to have images of the children who are benefiting from the care of the amazing Birmingham Children's Hospital.
And Katie, obviously this is a physical and mental challenge for you to do.
So I work for the charity itself. So we're going to have 51 businesses from across the West Midlands taken to the canal at the mailbox at the end of June for our annual Dragon Boat race. It's a 2-day event that's now in its 4th year and has really become sort of a highlight in our corporate events calendar each year. It's a really fantastic event, really competitive, lots of laughter, fun, healthy rivalry across all of the teams. That last year raised over £265,000 for the hospital, and we've got big plans to smash that target again this year. So really thankful to Briggs and all of the other teams that have signed up to take part, because what they'll do will make such a difference.
Yeah, and as we said, I mean, this is something which is touching lives across the region. And in Fleur's case, if you don't know someone directly, you know someone who knows someone who has benefited from the help. I've got friends whose kids have needed the help at the Children's Hospital, and it does make such a difference. So is it now too late to sign up if other people are inspired by what Briggs are doing here?
Yeah, I'd say probably too late for this year, but we'll open applications a bit later on in the summer for next year's event. So yeah, please have a look and sign up. It really is fantastic. And like you said, the hospital touches so many people. My little boy is also a cardiac patient there. It really is a very special place, a leading specialist paediatric centre that delivers some of the most advanced treatment and complex surgical procedures to over 100,000 children and young people every year from across the region, the UK, and beyond that. So the funds raised from the event will be helping us to ensure that we're really at the forefront of what's possible, that our patients and families have the best care, treatment, experience and environment. So it really will make such a difference.
Absolutely. Now, Sam, obviously this is the time when people can sponsor you. So tell us how we do that.
So we've all got our individual pages. We all pledged to raise at least £150 towards the cause, but we've got a group. Our team name is Keeping the Boat Moving, which links to our Briggs sort of strap line of keeping business moving. So we just had a bit of a play on words with the whole boat scenario. So we've got a link. I don't know if there's anywhere that we can share that, but it's done via Enthuse and then just going on to our team name. But yeah, if anybody would like to support.
So we're looking, if we Google Enthuse and then look for that team name, give us those details again.
Keeping the Boat Moving.
Okay, so look for that, Enthuse, Keeping the Boat Moving. Then you can donate that way, and a chance to support. And Fleur, obviously, we're talking about the fact that you work on a number of charity events. I mean, what else have you got lined up for 2024?
Well, I haven't personally got anything else lined up, but Briggs, overall, we aim to do loads and loads of fundraising. As Sam said earlier on, Briggs are actually really passionate about raising money for charities, and each year they do aim to sponsor one national charity for the whole of the year. So last year it was Dementia UK, and they actually raised over £114,000 for the year, which is absolutely incredible. So yeah, we're always looking for new ideas of how to raise money. And for instance, my little boy, he's got a football team who Briggs sponsor. And there's so many people within Briggs who are employees who have got various different events going on, different charity events, where Briggs will always match whatever we raise. So if I raise £500, Briggs will also match that figure as well. So would raise £1,000. So like I said before, you know, Briggs is an amazing company to work for. They're so passionate about helping different charities, and we always try to look for ideas and different things that we can do to support, you know, different charities. So yeah, it's really great.
Well, it's going to be amazing when you are taking part once again in that Dragon Boat Race, all in aid of Birmingham Children's Hospital. Katie, give us all the details where people can find out all about the hospital and the work that you're doing, and of course sign up for next year's event. And they'll also see details of how they can come down and cheer on all the amazing teams taking part in this year's Canal Boat Race.
Yeah, absolutely. So they can visit our website, which is bch.org.uk, that will have lots of information on there about the charity, the impact we make, and events going on. The Dragon Boat Race is on the 28th and 29th of June from 9 AM till 5 PM, Canal Side at the Mailbox. So everybody welcome to come and cheer all of our wonderful rowers on. It's a really fantastic day, really great atmosphere. We have lots of families there, lots of patients, lots of things going on for children. So please come and see us and cheer the team.
Cheer us on.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Everyone keep up the good work. We look forward to hearing how you get on in the final total. So I expect Fleur or Sam to let me know on that one. That'd be good to hear from you. Absolutely. But for now, from Briggs of Women UK, Fleur and Sam, and also from Birmingham Children's Hospital Charity, Katie Harris, thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Laura Liptrot always seems to be evolving in her work. So many different projects, so many different voices, looks, sounds, and ways in which she delivers it. She's here now to tell me some of what's going on in her world. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. Yep, a lot going on again, as usual.
Well, yeah, and it's been a little while since we've caught up. It's got to be a good 6 months. So what's been happening in the Liptrot empire?
So I'm having a book published. I've self-published about 4 books now, and this one is being traditionally published with Tenebrous Books, which I'm very excited about.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. So it's just in the process at the moment, so there'll be updates about book launches and other things. I'm directing a play at Birmingham Fest. I'm directing two actually. One is a play that my friend Ian Henry has written, which is called Georgina and the Dragon, and it's challenging racism. The hero is a woman, so it also challenges gender stereotypes, and the dragon is the embodiment of racism, so it's very about fighting stereotypes and prejudice. That's one play I'm doing at Birmingham Fest. Another one is Seven Wonders, which I did years and years ago, which is a one-woman show about the 6 wives of Henry VIII and sort of their emotions and what makes them relatable today.
In fact, I believe you did that at the Wolverhampton Literature Festival in its inaugural year, as I recall.
Yes, I did, didn't I? That was before lockdown.
Yeah, a long time before lockdown.
Oh, it was, yeah. That was my my final project for uni. Seven Wonders was, and I sort of did it a bit before lockdown, and then it sort of rested a bit, and now I feel that I've really got more to say for it. So yeah, and I'm also in a play called Leia's Dream, which is also Birmingham Fest. So yeah, so I'm going to be in Birmingham a lot in July.
You've had your vaccinations, so you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, it must be, great to be part of so many things, but a very confusing time for your brain cells trying to work out who, what, where, and when.
Oh, totally. So this was a few years ago, I think, actually. I was doing so many things, and it's a similar mindset now. I went along to a film I was doing, and it was just 2 people. And the bloke who I was working opposite, he said, "Hello, Laura, are you all right?" And I know you, don't I? I know you from somewhere. I was working with him in another play, and I'd literally seen him 2 days before, and I just couldn't remember who he was.
But you could probably have given him his character name, but not his name in real life.
Possibly, I was like, it's the Sheriff of Nottingham, isn't it?
But I think that's an important thing for an artist to be doing, though. So much of everything, you don't know when you're going to stop. And being busy is obviously important, and it's a great way of trying to pay the bills. But equally, I think it's a good challenge for you as well to keep yourself tested by doing so many different projects.
Oh, definitely, yes. It's you never get bored. I mean, I'm also working on a novel, and I've been working on that for the past 3 days. And I sort of go, write it out now. So I'm thinking, what else shall I do? I know, I'll do some artwork. I'll work on this project, and it's like loads of hobbies. And once one of the projects starts feeling too much like work, I can just put it aside and then go on to something else. And it's really nice as well, because it means I'm not bored when I'm at home, but going out and doing so much also means that I don't get too sort of in my own head. And when I do, I've usually got, I'm going out in a couple of days' time, and I meet people to drag me out of my own head and give me that buzz that people give you.
See, but I mean, going out is really research. You're just looking for new personalities to incorporate into some of your projects somewhere along the line.
Oh, exactly. Writing comedy and traveling on a train, you just like, I could just take a video camera around a train, and that'd be perfect. So many to hear people say.
You can pitch that one to Channel 4 or Channel 5. I think they'll take the train stuff.
You know what they might do? I might.
But with the plans you have, I mean, have you worked out where you want to be? I would say 5 years' time, as most people get at job interviews. Now, let's say in the next 2 years, do you know what path you're looking at mostly taking? Because you're not very good at wearing a badge or a hat in the same role for very long.
Oh, I know. I think the main thing I want to be in 2 years' time is I want to be known as a novelist and a poet. But I think ultimately I'd love to be working on TV and be sort of known as a comedy name. I'd love to be like the next Victoria Wood or something, actor, writer, somebody who really brings comedy into the world. But kind of the thing I'm working on right now is novels and poetry and writing and stuff. And then just see what happens with the rest of the ideas. I've got all these tools, and I can just pull them out and use them, but it's what do I want to do right now? And I think it's writing.
But maybe when there are a couple of comedy novels under your belt, that could easily turn into a nice sitcom.
Well, yes, there you go. Oh, I hadn't thought of that before. You give me another thing on my to-do list. A comedy novel.
So there's plenty to be going at, and say with the Birmingham Fest thing. I mean, there's so much stuff taking place, and you're not actually in 3/4 of it, which is what it sounds like from what you've told us. But you will be prominent down there. And again, it's these events. They're very much sort of a bit of a meeting group, a chance to network with other creatives, aren't they?
Oh, definitely, yes, definitely. The big one, I'd say, because there's Leia's Dream. I've got a small role in it, and then Seven Wonders is a smaller play, and there's not loads and loads of preparation because it's just me. So I'd say the big one is Georgina and the Dragon, because it's very multimedia. It's got dance pieces, it's got music pieces. So it's a fantastic opportunity for me to get into the world of singers and dancers as well, which isn't really my remit, but I'm working with musicians because of this, kind of that bridge between art forms. So yeah.
I feel there might be an album on the way with some of your poetry set to music then.
Well, possibly. I mean, for this, we are working with a pianist, and there's going to be, so we're working with a sitar player and a pianist. The pianist is writing the songs, but he actually said, could I write the lyrics? So there you go. I'm going to have written the lyrics to 3 songs this time next month. So,
and will have performed them to hundreds of people.
Yes, it's not me singing. If anyone's singing, don't worry. It's not me singing.
Obviously, lots to see and do. So we now need to work out where the back catalogue of books is for the self-published stuff, where we can start looking out for the traditionally published one, and of course where we can get hold of tickets for the many events you're part of. Hopefully you're doing all this through a nice social media channel to make it simple for us all.
It's all my Facebook page, I'm afraid.
That's good.
It's fine though. I think that it's very manageable. I think a lot of people are happy with Facebook. Yeah. So what was the first one? So my self-published books, it's probably so they are available on Amazon, but it's if you want signed copies, it's probably best to find me on Facebook and contact me directly. It's Laura Liptrot. You'll recognise my face. The traditionally published book, it hasn't got a date yet. It's currently being proofread and final checks. So keep an eye out for updates on that. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, so tickets for any of the things I'm in at Birmingham Fest, they're all at the Black Box, which is a theatre in Jewellery Quarter. So if you go to the Black Box website, Black Box Theatre Birmingham, you can get tickets through there, or again come to my Facebook and I'll sort of direct you how to get the tickets.
Sounds like a plan. So we're looking for Laura Liptrot. Liptrot is the spelling on Liptrot. Laura, that's fairly traditional, so you'll be able to work that bit out. But there's going to be so much going on. Look, always good to catch up with you. Let's have a catch up again after you've done the Birmingham thing and see what late summer into autumn brings in your amazing multimedia empire.
Fantastic. Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, fingers crossed, binge drinking has been replaced by a bit of conscious drinking. And when you're doing it consciously, you want the best flavours out there. With World Gin Day taking place over the weekend, obviously there's going to be a few people sipping on the slow gin. To tell us more about some of the fantastic flavours that are out there, I'm joined now by the inimitable Portia Freeman. Good afternoon.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm good, and I hope we find you well with a bottle of gin not too far away, but obviously only sipping and drinking responsibly.
Only sipping and drinking responsibly. It is such a, do you know what? Did you see that statistic though? 78% of adult drinkers are now choosing to drink just like it's conscious drinking. That's what it's all about.
It is a better way of doing, though, isn't it? I mean, if you're going out for a beer or 7, you're normally going out for a reason. And whilst I don't personally approve of that sort of thing, it's some people's way of life. But spirits are often easier to get wrong. And if you get it right with flavours and cocktails made with some of the finest liquors and liqueurs, you really do enjoy what you're drinking in a way that's very different to what may be seen as traditional in the UK.
This is so true. And I also think it's about the quality, like what you were saying, it's about what we're incorporating into our drinks. We know that with, you know, ingredients, if we're creating cocktails at home, especially, we know exactly what's going into it. So with a product like Karoon Gin, a Scottish stunning gin that literally is just packed with those gorgeous botanicals. We've got 6, which are the traditional gin botanicals. And then we've also got 5 Celtic foraged botanicals. We know that bottle of gorgeous gin has been created with love. So when we're like creating cocktails at home or, you know, wherever we are, we know that that is going to be a stunning cocktail.
I mean, it's brands like Karoon Gin who have signature flavors, and we know the Scottish are good at distilling things. They've been doing malt whiskey for longer than you care to remember. You wouldn't necessarily immediately think of a Scottish gin, but with the experience that's already in the Highlands and the Lowlands up there, you've got actually a great combination, and in particular, as you said, with foraged goodies to bring flavors to the fore.
Yeah.
And again, that still comes through whether you're mixing it as a cocktail or drinking something with a good quality tonic.
Yeah, it really does. And you know what? The best way to actually enjoy a serve of Karoon is with a slice of apple. How simple is that? It is so simple. And I tasted this when I was lucky enough to go up to the distillery, and I was just wowed. I was wowed by everything. I absolutely adored the whole start to finish. It was like, you know, seeing how this gin is just created in the world, Jason, the only copperberry chamber to really draw out those botanicals, those flavors to really extract, and then to literally go through the distillery tour to then be served with a glass of Karoon with a slice of apple. It was honestly perfection. And I actually think sometimes less is way more, and it actually just extracting the flavor from that apple was just, chef's kiss.
I think I need a trip to Speyside to go and check this one out myself, to be fair.
Definitely.
But I think people have, in their own minds at least, become connoisseurs of gin, and sometimes they need to maybe look at that less is more approach. And you know, there are some, I'm sure, great sticky toffee pudding flavored gins out there, but it's their flavors and not, as you've got here, as kind of natural infusion.
Yeah, it's so true. And I think also it's about the craftsmanship that's gone into creating this product, right? Because it's about quality over quantity. And I think now that we are looking at how much we're drinking, we're looking at also how it's making us feel. People are a lot more conscious about, you know, feeling healthy, feeling good, mindfulness, exercising, you know, being fit. So when you are going to drink something that is alcoholic, you want to make sure you do incorporate that kind of gorgeous, stunning spirit, which you know is packed with quality. And that's where Karoon literally ticks all the boxes.
And this is now spanning the generations, isn't it, gin? I mean, it has been so popular, and it's something that which has always been there and always had, you know, pockets of popularism. But it's getting people to come together, and you stick a bottle of this on the table at a family gathering, it's going to go down well with everybody.
It literally ticks, like I just said, it ticks those boxes. And you've just said that so perfectly, because I feel like it can really carry through the generations. But I feel like it's, you know, we're looking at how I'm a millennial, and don't get me wrong, all of these generation labels I find quite confusing. But if we're going to go down that route, we look at Gen Z, and they seem to be like carving this path where everybody's taking note, everybody's looking at how they're drinking, because actually it's a vibe. And if we're gonna, you know, look at a cocktail they would enjoy, let's look at Karoon's Contessa, a stunning riff of the Negroni, a great cocktail to enjoy. You don't have to rush drinking it, and it has beautiful complexity yet so balanced, and it just hits the nail on the head with a gorgeous cocktail to enjoy.
Yeah, and that's what it's about. It's about enjoyment. You're drinking alcohol, which means you will do it sensibly. But I mean, the alcohol will give it that little tingle and that lift, but it's not something you just want to knock back. This is something to savor.
1,000,000%. And I think this is where, like with how I create cocktails, it's all about the ritual of creating the cocktail, you know, finding those gorgeous garnishes. Garnishes are so popular, and I really feel like this summer it's going to be garnish heavy. But when I say it, like, you know, you want to have a garnish which isn't going to be wasted. You want it to be because we all drink with our eyes, right? We look at what someone else is drinking, and that is the first thing we see. We're like, I want a bit of that. But then it's all about having that garnish incorporated into the cocktail, and you will consume the garnish, which is what I think is so gorgeous about, you know, the creativity of creating cocktails at home and, you know, foraging in your back garden. But that's where it comes back to Karun and how they have foraged for the botanicals. It all just marries really well.
And there's going to be some great recipes on their website, which is going to be karoongym.com. Karun, CARUNN, gin.com. And then you can get some great ideas there. But if you've got any particular favourites, what's you say you're enjoying the apple as a garnish, but what is your go-to if you're going to mix this up?
Okay, so if we're looking at flavor, if we're looking at experimenting with flavors, I think Karun's basil and spice is a solid hit, and I feel like everybody will love this one because it's quite versatile. You can chop and change the spice with it. You have jalapeno going in there, you've got basil, you've got your lime, and you've got your Karun. You've also got a tiny bit of syrup. Now, this is also an optional addition. If you don't want to have that, you can take it down because, again, the recent surveys have shown that people are trying to reduce sugar. I think the stat was like 26% people are cutting sugar out completely, and I love the versatility behind this recipe because you can knock up the jalapeno aspect, or you can reduce that a little bit as well. If you don't have basil, you can throw in some coriander, and then that pairs beautifully with your food because coriander seed features in the gin as well as, you know, Asian food, Mexican food. It all just marries. I love it.
Yeah, it's about getting those combinations right, getting everything to sit together well, and just bringing a burst of flavour across your taste buds, which is going to sort of make you sit back and go, wow, I enjoyed that. I'm not entirely sure how I could enjoy so much intensity at one go, but it's there, and it's what makes you smile.
Exactly. And it's all about, do you know what? I think it's just about making it your own. It's about making it your own and feeling proud that you've just created a stunning cocktail at home. That's like, it's like cooking, but, you know, with liquid. It's great.
Well, I mean, you are the queen of cocktails. If anybody knows, it is you. Always drinking responsibly too, which we do know as well.
Always.
And yeah, it's always good, such fun when we see you, you know, with the TV work, getting involved in all of this and having those moments. And it's about moments whether you're sharing it with your loved ones, your friends, your family, or just a good book. Having something to enjoy is the way to do it, isn't it?
I love that. I love that you just said that. That is I think there's a real romance behind cocktails. I think there's, even when whoever you're with, you know, I feel like it's a great way to come together. And this just happens, like, you know, with the Gen Zs going up, you know, up the generation now, going, you know, millennials and so on. But I think it's about just creating new paths of enjoying, you know, responsible drinking. It's not about binge drinking. It's not about having that hangover. What we have, no one has time for that hangover the next day, right? No one can put that time into their diary. So it's about having, you know, high quality spirits with stunning product and your loved ones.
Yep, Portia Freeman, who will no doubt be having a tipple with her loved ones in a great responsible way in the not too distant future. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So that's it for episode 781. Zoe, have you enjoyed just popping along for a bit of a 15 years on flavour of what podcasting is still like?
I have. Can't believe it's 15 years still. It's amazing, isn't it? And it's still there, still going with listeners and everything.
Yeah, I know, downloads, views, everything's got the lot. I know we were only supposed to do this, as we've said in the past, for about 3 weeks because you wanted a demo.
Yeah, that's how it started. See how good I am to you, Jason. I've given you a whole 15 years of enjoyment.
You mean of editing, 15 years of editing. That's what you've given me. But we did have fun because I used to enjoy your surprise guests and we had to try and work out who they were. Yeah. That's what we did for about 6 weeks whilst you still worked through your little black book of celebrities.
Oh, yeah, I did have a book. I haven't got that anymore, you know. I think half of them are probably dead.
No, that's always, sadly, we spoke to some of them just before they passed on. But yeah, it's been an interesting time over that 15 years. Here's to the next 15. You're going to try and turn up done a few more shows?
I'd like to. Did you know what my favourite bit of it was? Actually, I don't think it might have been for the podcast. It might have been for a breakfast show. Do you remember when you used to bring me stuff in to make, like arts and crafts?
That was breakfast shows at WCR on the student days, yeah.
Yeah, you brought me in the once. The balloon kit, do you remember that one? Make a spider.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Every time I think that makes me laugh.
I'm just going to search my photos in case I've got a picture of a balloon spider in there. You know, you can search for these things. Balloon
okay. I don't know.
spider.
It didn't look like a spider, and it didn't look like a balloon.
No,
but
no
it was
results.
very-
I didn't treasure that photo, unfortunately.
Oh,
But
you'll have to dig it out of the archives and replay it because we was laughing. I don't think we've got any words out of that show.
no, but it was fun though. Well, what we can do is over the coming weeks, we've got to try and get round to doing this thing in real life again. So what we'll do is we'll try and find a venue, and me and you'll get together and do a few interviews. Does that sound like a plan?
Sounds good.
Okay, we'll work on that. Meanwhile, thank you for joining us. Back with episode 782 next week, which Zoe, you're not planning on joining me for that, are you?
Not unless you've got somebody interesting on.
There's always someone interesting on.
Let me know, and I'll pop along. No,
We'll
you
see
do
what-
always get stuff.
But tell you what, you go out and interview someone, and we'll put it on the show next week.
Maybe I might be able to do something like that festival again this year.
Okay, well,
actually record
the one
something
where you
this
failed to read anything last year, even though you still have the recorder I lent you in
Yeah.
2000 and what? I don't
Nine.
know. Yeah, something like that. But that far back, 15 years ago. Yeah. All right. So thanks everyone for joining us. We'll see you soon. Ta-ra for now. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye from the milk bar. 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 Yeah. Goodbye from the milk bar. Yeah.